Alright. Got that fixed. Anyways, salutations, individual, and welcome to a quick update regarding the channel, both for Twitch and for YouTube. Now, this will be a little different from the other channel updates because, as you can tell, I'm a little more put together, a little more established. Audio balancing is a little cleaner. Slowly but surely making improvements. Steadily, slow but steady wins the race, as they say. In any case, I just wanted to touch base with you guys and make sure that you're aware of my future plans. For those of you who are on, for those of you who are already on the Discord server, a bunch of this should probably not be news to you, but, you know, it's probably because I'm, you know, super over-enthusiastic blabbermouth and all that. You know, as you do. But I have several interesting things going on, and this time I'm caffeinated enough to discuss it. So, the first part is going to come across as really bad news, and kind of is. It's alarmingly bad, but with enough hard work and with your help, it can definitely be a situation that we can turn around. So, the first thing is that, so I left my corpo job almost a year ago now, right? No. I forget how many months ago that was now, but point is, I'm no longer working in customer service. But the problem is that I got no cash. Got no cash flow incoming. Because I thought that I would have like 3 side gigs, you know? And I would have been all good. But they all kind of fell through. So I am almost completely dead broke. So that's not good news. But I figured I'd get the rough stuff out of the way first because, you know, the classic old honey in the hatchet thing, right? Yeah, I prefer to get the hatchet out of the way first and then use the honey for a poultice. Gruesome metaphors aside. So, let's get to the fun part. So, the good news is that before all of this started, I got into a rather positive transaction with a very talented artist who's currently, and well, as of the release date of the last update video, is still working on that avatar, you know, the VTuber avatar. There has been a change in plans, though, all things considered. For better or worse, I'm gonna need to put Gabe on the back burner for now, and focus on Annie first, which I suppose makes sense. After all, Annihilatron is kind of the, he's the face of the channel, so it makes sense that he would be released first. I was hoping to do some more roleplay centric videos beforehand, but due to the time scaling of things, it's either do Annie now or wait 5 years to do so. So yeah. On the bright side, this means that you guys will get to see, you know, a full in-motion VTuber avatar soon, TM. I want to make sure that the artist involved in the project is not feeling pressured, because I prefer quality over expediency in all things, but especially in art. I don't want her to have to rush her masterpiece, and I have some art of the initial sketches right now, and it looks awesome. Even just looking at this stuff, I'm super hyped to get started. That being said, that moves on to our next topic. So, for the time being, okay, so in my original plan, I was supposed to have Gabe's VTuber avatar done by now, and then do some role-playing videos. Ideally, what was on the original plan was I was going to do some Doom 3 videos and make it sort of like a role-play campaign, and I'm still planning on doing that from Gabe's POV. So stay tuned for that later. But it's gonna need to be put on the back burner until his avatar is complete, which is entirely determined by how much, you and your fellow viewers want to help me out here. But I've got some more thrilling, more immediate news. So, as soon as Annie's VTuber avatar is done, the moment that it is done, released, and the files are fully in my possession and ready to go, and I've got all the stupid prep work and stuff done, I will be doing much more major videos. So, for now, I'll be continuing my Doom 2 Pistol Start Challenge Run videos at the moment. And, yeah. The plan for that is that I'll keep doing those until the VTuber avatar is done. And then I'll probably just finish the game. And then, I don't know. I'll probably end up juggling between finishing that and moving on to what I'm gonna have in store for Annie. So the videos that I'll be doing with Annie are not going to be roleplay videos, because Annie's not exactly a very roleplay compatible character. I suppose it's possible, but it would need to be stuff like New Cycle or Civilization or something to that effect. That would be the kind of videos and games and stuff that Annie would fit into roleplay wise. So what I'm planning on doing is just a genuine, regular old Let's Play, and super excited to say, but one of the game series that I'm planning on doing is the Yakuza series. Now, for those of you who know Yakuza, you know that this is a monumental thing, because every single Yakuza game has like hundreds of hours of content. And the thing is, I'm planning on 100%ing all of the side quests and hidden stories and stuff in every single Yakuza game. All of them. All of them. Starting in chronological order. So we're going to be starting off with one of my favorites, which is Yakuza 0. Now, I have played Yakuza 0 before. I've even beaten it before. But that was so many years ago that I've forgotten most of the details. A lot of them, at least. So it'll basically be like a fresh start, kinda. I will be remembering some things as I go along, but, you know. But I think things will be really interesting after I beat 0, because I have never played Yakuza 1, 2, or 3 before. I've only played 4, a little bit of 5, and a whole lot of 0. So, by that metric, a lot of fans of that series will definitely regard me as a bit of a noob. But that suits me just fine because I really want to explore the full story from beginning to end. And I hope that y'all will be there with me as I navigate and explore the city of Kamurocho and beyond in some cases. That being said, Yakuza is not the only game I plan on addressing in this crusade, shall we call it. There are many, many other games that I plan to do a Let's Play on. Over 500 to be in more precise. Yes, I have so many ideas. And I'm so excited to show them all to you. But here's the thing, that's not even the biggest news. Alright? This isn't the thing that I am the most excited about. I mean, okay, so I'm super excited about Yakuza because I'm a huge Yakuza fan. I really enjoy those games. I love the story. I really like the characters. Amazing music. I dare you to find even one bad song in that entire franchise. Yeah. The thing I'm most excited for, though, overall, is the KJ project. Now, this will be the first time I talk about the KJ project in an official capacity since the reset. But basically, so KJ's is my own personal IP. My very own universe of my own creation, complete with unique planets, galaxies, solar systems, cultures, languages, species, histories, etc., etc., etc. And I plan to tell this entirely original and unique story from multiple perspectives simultaneously. But here's the thing, is that Annie is the first piece in the puzzle. So, it may sound cold of me to say this, but one of the goals of my gaming videos is to draw attention to the channel. I'm being completely honest and transparent about that. That is one of the reasons why I do gaming videos. Now, it's not the only reason. I mean, obviously it's super fun to play games and have fun together on stream and all that. That's pretty great. But you know, the real thing is that I am super excited to share the story of KJ's with you guys, because this is my grand goal. So to explain, a lot of people when they decide to become a YouTuber, VTuber, Twitch streamer, yada yada yada, it's for the money, you know? I mean, why would you so you get paid to sit around and play video games all day, and you decide your own schedule and all that. Pretty sweet gig, not gonna lie. And I can see why a lot of people are drawn to it for that reason. But here's the thing. It's not about the money, Spider-Man. So, jokes aside though, for me it's not about the money. Granted, the money is necessary in order for me to maintain functionality in the long term, and allows me to focus on the channel and things related to it, but it is not the main focus. It is not the driving force. That is not my motivation. The way I see it is, so long as I can pay my bills and afford to eat, I'm good. You know, any excess money that I make in addition to that will all go straight to my artists and editors, because without them, there ain't no way in hell I'm making it off the ground. And I really want to appreciate them properly for their assistance. I know a lot of people out there are like, money grabbing, SpongeBob me boy. I expect you to make like 10 billion things of art for me, and I'm not gonna pay you for it. I'm just gonna take it and you know that. And no, that's not the way I'm gonna be running things. I do fully intend on making sure that my artists not only avoid starving, but also make sure that they can live comfortably. I don't know about living like kings or whatnot, but I want to make sure that they look forward to working for me and for the channel, working for the team. Because one of the reasons why would be because they're getting paid pretty well. That's the plan, at least. And that plan can only come to be once we get enough viewers who are interested in helping out, you know? Donating on Patreon, getting involved in Twitch stuff, etc., etc. Feeding the YouTube algorithm, etc., etc. You know the drill. Typical stuff. Every channel does this. You kind of have to, you know. I get it. I mean, so to be fully honest, I really don't feel comfortable asking for handouts. I hate it because it's like there's this fine line between asking for help and begging, and I despise begging. But, you know how it is. It's pretty typical in this day and age to ask for and or receive help in such manners. So, I mean, if you want to help, then I'm extremely grateful, and if you don't, I understand. But help does not need to be financial. Even just spreading the word about this big project or any of my gaming videos, that helps. That helps more than enough. And in fact, spreading the word is actually more valuable to me than money. Money is spent on things. It's just a system of currency. What is not replaceable, though, are people. And I need folks to understand that more often these days, because these days folks seem to be losing sight of the value of people. Yeah, I know, it's bizarre, but that's just the day and age we live in nowadays, where people seem to value money more than other people. It's weird, but what have you. What was the next bit there? I was supposed to do a clever segue into the next bit, but I forgot what the next bit is. Oh, got it! I know I've been a little slow on these last few videos, and I'm trying to pick up the pace, but I'm really not a high-speed guy. Like, even downing a whole bunch of caffeine just now, it's like, man, either I go slow or I forget everything. But yeah, so there's several series that I want to name right now. A few of them like Yakuza, yeah, and there's also the Fear series. I've only ever played Fear 3, I think it was, the one with the two brothers. And even then, all I really remember from that is it was basically kind of like dear gods. Army of Two, except a little weird. Like asymmetrical Army of Two. Which is kind of cool, but I want to start with the first one. Because I'm genuinely curious about the story, and I've been intentionally keeping myself in the dark about that to give my genuine first reaction. But I'm gonna do a little digging for that first and see I'm not gonna hit on spoilers. I just need to know if the protagonist of that series is a silent one or not, a silent protagonist. Because if so, I would like to do a roleplay video of that with Gabe. If not, then I'll just jump into it, you know? Basically, any game you can think of where the entire game, the protagonist is a silent protagonist, that could be on the table for Gabe being, you know, it's a roleplay video from his perspective. You'll see why once we delve into his lore. Oh yeah, speaking of lore, so I have hundreds of thousands of pages of lore. This, scarily enough, this is not an exaggeration. I am super excited to share a whole lot about the KJ's universe with you guys. Super excited. But I know that it needs to have story structure. There needs to be a beginning, a middle, and an end, yada yada yada. It needs to make sense. So although I have all these millions of thoughts rolling around in my head and on the page and in the website, I need to collect them and organize them in a way that makes them presentable for the audience. I'm still currently working on that, and yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds. But one of the ways in which I plan to do so is in a side series. I haven't thought of a name for it yet, but it's basically gonna be audio logs. It's gonna be like an in-universe recordings of the audio logs of a he's a half goblin, half human detective that his name is Biggish D Foot. And his whole thing is while he's traveling the world, he's recording these audio recordings of himself talking about these basic concepts of his universe. So it's basically like a safari documentary, but it's set in the entire world. And what makes this rather interesting is that so every continent in the world of Dirt is currently undergoing its own separate apocalypse. So he's literally having to dodge his way through different apocalypses, just trying to survive while desperately scrambling to record his adventures, and I think it'll be super funny. It'll be a fun and entertaining way of sharing the lore of the universe with you guys. And it'll have some it'll have some Gravity Falls-esque ARG mechanics in it as well. There's going to be some elements of ciphers and mysteries and backwards messages and all kinds of things that you guys as an audience can work together to compile, translate, decode, etc., in order to find all these secret hidden messages. Because while Biggish DeFoot is, you know, exploring the world and explaining things, as a far darker, more sinister force is following his trail. So you'll have these funny, lighthearted moments, but also these moments where it's clear that the lore itself is actively expanding as well. Not only that too, but I'm also hosting various roleplay campaigns on the side as well that are set in the same universe. So the players of those campaigns, they are influencing the story in their own ways. I don't think they understand just how big the impact they've had is just yet, but they will. And I'm super excited to show you guys what kind of influences they've had on the story overall as well. I probably shouldn't disclose too much right now because I don't want for folks to have to go to this video to learn about lore, about the overall story, because this isn't about that. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really cool. In other news, I am currently working on an official TCG, an official card game that is based on and set in that same universe. It's gonna be a little unorthodox though, so fans of the Dawn of War series and RTSs like that, like I want to say Company of Heroes and Iron Harvest and stuff like that. It'll be a card game that feels kind of like that, but in a card game. So how it works is you play your cards, right, and your cards represent your troops that are under your command and resources at your disposal. And with said cards, you slowly expand your domination of the center of the board in between each player, and that'll be the battlefield. And the more of the battlefield you control, the faster you can accrue resources to do your thing, you know. It's currently under a lot of work right now, and you can see my progress on the Discord channel if you want. Links are probably going to be down below if you're interested. For the YouTube video, it'll be down in the description. If you're interested in joining the Discord server, you're absolutely welcome. So long as you respect the server rules, you know. Basically, just don't be a dick. Not too hard. Although for some, I'd imagine yeah, it could prove to be quite a challenge for some, but, you know. Anyways, if you're on the Discord server and you're interested in finding out, there's a button you can push that'll make you privy to all of the publicly available info about the current build of the card game. So if you want to keep up with how much work I'm putting into that, it is publicly available. Currently, it is in the game itself, and its core mechanics are in a fully playable state. It is currently in its very early alpha stages, so it needs a lot of playtesting. And right now, I only have most of one playable deck put together. But as soon as I get a second deck ready and available, I'll be doing playtesting in Tabletop Simulator. So if you're interested in participating in the public alpha test, again, just hop into the Discord, let me know, we can talk, we can figure things out, you know? I'll probably send you a friend request on Steam, yada yada. Just to let you know, due to my lacking resources at this time, I will not be buying copies of Tabletop Simulator for people. I used to do that, but that was back when I had money, and yeah. So, yeah, I recommend having Tabletop Simulator if you want to participate in that. If not, it's alright. You can hang out in VC if you want. You're perfectly welcome either way. Let me see. What else is there? Well, most of my work on KJs in particular is done on a private server, which is only accessible to certain people, chiefly people who have Annie's Champion as their roles. But yeah, there are ways you can join that server too, but it gets a lot more personal from that front, because, you know, it's the private server. This is like the secret club kind of a thing, you know, we don't just let anybody in there. The public one is for most everybody. If you want open arms, that's the public server for you. The private one is more of an elite, a small, closely knit group. Let's see, what else? I'm also getting some professional GMing sessions up and running. Pretty soon here, I'm going to be doing my first professional session. Okay, so basically that presenting, I really don't like presenting it that way because it makes it seem like everything I've done so far is not as legit. But this will be the first time I am actually getting paid to be a GM. So that'll be exciting. I'm gonna be figuring out the details on that later. For now, my top priority is getting this Twitch channel and this YouTube channel up to proper speed, and then preparing for the VTuber avatar to be ready. Because once that avatar is ready, I'll be kicking off some really big plays, some Hail Marys, and well, given these difficult times, I'm gonna need a Hail Mary, which is exactly what I'm planning for. Gonna do my best regardless with what I can. Let's see, what else? Because I remember one last point, but I kind of want to save that for last. Because it's kind of a really important question. Oh yeah, another little side update too is I've been getting back into being a professional painter. That's pretty fun. Once I get a functioning camera up and running, I'll gladly share pictures of it on the Discord server. So again, hop into the Discord server if you want to see a whole bunch of 40K models and stuff. Super excited to show off all that I've managed to build. In the meantime, I have one important question for you. One that needs a really major answer. One that's, now, I don't want to say super personal because that would sound a little weird, but it'll be personal for me. So, I know I've been hyping up the Discord server a lot in this video, but really, truly, if you want to make waves in this community, your best bet is going to be on the Discord server, because I do not handle transactions and stuff over email. If you'll notice in my About Me, I don't have any emails or anything. There's a reason for that. It's because I don't want people just having access to any of my emails, and I really don't feel like making another junk email to, you know, yeah. That'll probably change down the road, but for now, I just don't want to bother with any of that, so I'm going to be putting all of those kinds of interactions on Discord, because it's a lot more manageable than, you know, a lot of alternatives. That being said, you can still make plenty of an impact on the YouTube comments down below. I do check those out when I have the time. Mostly though, the fastest way to contact me would be on Discord. And on that note, I need a question answered, one that only my community can answer. So, me personally, I prefer, when I stream, I prefer to just hit the stream button and then stream for however long I feel like, and then hit stop streaming when I'm done. You know, I stream it all in one big video. It could be an hour, it could be 2 hours. Hell, my Deltarune video was a whopping 8.5 hours. So, yeah, and that's not counting the part where I get stuck on that damn boss. But, I was thinking, and I've been looking at all these other YouTubers, and VTubers too, but all these other YouTubers, what they do is they take their videos, and every hour or 2 hours, they cut. Like, they make a cut. Even if they're literally just hitting the stop stream button and then immediately start another stream. They chop it up into 1 or 2 hour segments. So I was wondering, which would you prefer? For me to do it all in, one long video, more natural and organic, but it's one long video, so you kind of have to bookmark it as you go, here and there. Because I don't expect people to watch it all in one sitting. I could do that, as I've been doing, or I could chop it up into 2 hour segments. So each of my videos, every 2 hours, I would stop and say, hey, so that's gonna be it for this episode. Boom, boom. Okay, welcome back to another episode of, that kind of thing. Now, a lot of people have been telling me that doing it episodically would be smarter, but I have yet to hear an actual legitimate reason why. Now, the primary reason why I don't is, to be completely honest, because I'm lazy. I don't feel like doing my intros and outros over and over and over again. But that being said, seeing some of these other YouTubers doing their intros and outros at certain times in certain games, it does feel kind of natural in a way. I kind of dig it in some cases. So I'm open to both approaches, but I am genuinely asking you guys what you think. So just let me know. Just let me know in the Discord server, or in the comments below, what you guys think. And I would especially love it if you guys decided to discuss it with each other. I love seeing a community to get together and communicate with one another. It's awesome. That being said, oh shit, right, there's one last thing before I go, is, so, I've been seeing a lot of these, basically self-help guides on how to be a YouTuber, how to be a Twitch streamer, what to do, what not to do, all these basic tutorial things, right? Because I want to do it right. I want to do it right by you guys, and so I'm doing my homework. And boy, howdy, is it boring! But it has to be done, I suppose it doesn't have to be done. I could just wing it. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. But I don't know about winging it when I get to the actual serious stuff, Like, I want to give my KJ, to give perspective, I want to give my KJ's project stuff as much, if not more, attention to detail and love as, say, I don't know if you've heard of Alpha Busa or Alpha Busa. If the Emperor had a text-to-speech device thing, I want to give it that level of care and attention. Maybe not with the animation work, because I can only imagine what kind of hell that would put an animator through. Although I would love to see animations of my IP. Honestly, that would be amazing. And I've seen some fan-made animatics already, and it's awesome. Yeah, so I do plan on treating it right, you know? But, anyways, the point is that so many of these guides and whatnots, they always end in the same note, right? Like, you gotta manipulate your audience, you gotta make a bunch of small videos that point towards a big video, which always has to end in either a monetization plug or you're trying to sell them something, right? And I suppose for some that works, you know? But I don't want to do that. I trust you guys, you know? I trust my audience. I trust my community. I know that eventually there will be folks who want to support me in this venture. And for now, what I need to concentrate on primarily is supporting what you guys want to see. You know, like, if you want to give me money, then I need to make a thing that you guys want to give me money for, right? I don't want to use this as a way to sell a product to you, because you've got that enough as is from society as a whole. It may be a bit edgelord of me to say this, but society is already functioning way too much on the wheels of commerce. There's so many people who basically just money becomes their personality, you know? You become the grind for more cash, and you start to lose sight of why. Back when I was working in customer service, I was actually starting to slip into that fallacy right there. And, yeah, it's not a place I ever want to go back to. I want to create for the sake of creation's sake. I don't want to feel like these videos are a way to get money out of you. You know? And I know that's not a good way to make it big. I know that my channel's size and profitability and etc. will suffer for that mentality. But I view it as such. I would rather have integrity than money. Because, you know, what am I supposed to do with money? If I don't have any integrity, what's the point of having money, you know? Maybe I value my honor too much, but that's just the way I see it. As far as I'm concerned, the whole point of having money is to support those that are closest to me. Aside from that, there is no reason for me to hoard money. You know, the only reason why I would accrue more cash than is what is within my means is to be prepared for those moments in life where something bad happens that you need money to compensate, you know? But I refuse to sacrifice the integrity of my creation and my artistic process for the sake of maximizing profits. That's the way Wayland Yutani thinks, and look how that pans out for them in every story, you know? I am not a Wayland Yutani. I am not a mega corporation. I am an artist, and I know my place. My place is to not make that much money because I'm an artist. I make entertainment. It's not like I'm saving somebody's life here. If I was a doctor or something, then yeah, pay me money. If I was a security guard, then yeah, you better pay me money or I'm taking bribes, but... joking. I would never take a bribe, but... yeah. Realistically, though, this is what I deserve. and I don't see any issue with that, because again, artists have their role to play in reality, but they are not required. They are not necessary. Granted, I would love to share my story, and that is my ultimate life's goal, is to have thousands of people listen to my tales that I have to tell, to see the story of KJ's unfold. I know that I'll be making it big when KJ's has a wiki article. Like when I have my own wiki for the story, that's when I know I'm doing good, I'll be happy then. Most people, they look at this kind of thing and they say, oh, I'll be happy when I'm making like $1,000 a month, like $1 million a month. Some YouTubers out there, they make like 10 grand a month, and that's insane, dude. That's crazy. If I were to rake in like 1.5K a month, maybe 2K a month, I'd be happy. That's well within my means. But, the goal of gaining money isn't really the goal. It's a side thing. The point of that is to make sure that I can pay the artists who are making these incredible artworks. So you see the image on screen right here, right now. That is AI generated, and you can probably tell because it doesn't look all that great. There's a lot of details that are just all wrong, and a real artist would do way better. But here's the thing, is that I'm using AI art and such as tools to get started. But the more that this channel grows, and the more you guys decide to support me, the more I'll be able to support my network of artists, which apparently is ever growing. I mean, just the other night, I was doing a Doom pistol start run as usual, right? And another artist joined the community. There's been a lot of artists lately who've been joining my community, and I'm really excited to see all this different talent and all these different art styles, and it's really cool. So what I've done, and not to sound like I'm bragging or anything, but I've set aside this section of my server on Discord that is specifically set aside to support artists like that. So I know a lot of artists are really nervous, and especially when it comes to advertising, because a lot of servers get pretty hostile when you try to advertise your work, So I wanted to set aside this space to make it so that artists can express themselves and get the word out, to spread the word about their skills. So basically, if you are an artist, or if you know someone who has artistic skills, then just welcome them on board. Everyone is welcome on my server, and especially artists of any kind. Doesn't matter if it's anime or manga or porn or hentai or music or painting or quilting or knitting or stone working or glass blowing. It doesn't matter what your art is. It does matter, but you get my point. My point is that I'm happy to help real artists flourish. Now, I don't have a lot of money, especially not right now, so I can't really support my fellow artists financially. But what I can do is help give them a platform to, help them with outreach. Not only that, but later on, once I do get more money from this channel and the Patreon and such, I will be looking through that chat channel and seeing, what you folks, what kind of art you guys want to display, And judging by that, I'll be looking for artists that are willing to help me out with KJs. So, down the road, even if you don't end up getting other people as clients, I'm still on the table. Ideally, once I reach the peak of my power, and once the channel gets to be as big as I imagine it, I plan on having 5 artists on the art team, just for visual art. Probably gonna have 2 musicians, one being an actual musician, and the other one being a sound technician, right? And then so on and so forth. I want to support as many people as I reasonably can. But I can't do it without your help. And so long as you can see AI art in any of my videos, that's my way of letting you guys know that I need help, essentially. Because instead of having an AI create this, and just rapidly generate it, it could have been an artist, a real artist, doing this artwork. Now, I don't want to just take, but the fact remains that I do not have infinite money, and, yeah. It may not seem... Okay, so... It goes back to what I was saying before. I hate just asking for things, right? But the thing is that it's not for me. It's for the people that are supporting me. So I'm kind of caught in between a rock and a hard place here, that kind of dilemma. It's like, which one is the morally right decision to choose here? I think there's a right and a wrong way to look at both sides. But ultimately, I'm gonna side with making sure that my friends have a future. I don't know. It's awkward as hell. Anyways, that's the plan for now, is to just work on learning the ropes, getting the basics down and ready, and then as soon as the VTuber avatar is ready, I can start to kick off. Just begin the sprint. But until then, you're probably going to see maybe 1 or 2 more update videos like this. Probably a bit shorter, or maybe a bit longer, I don't know. Depends on how much I have to update. But, yeah. And if you want to keep tabs on the situation, Discord link down below, description. Yeah. In the meantime, I'm gonna be going back at it in a minute. So, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope that y'all have a good day. Yeah. I hope I wasn't too awkward about the whole, money stuff. I really, really don't like talking about money or business of any kind, really, because A, it bores me, B, it's of no interest to me, and C, it's just awkward. Yeah. But, stuff. Anyways, take care, and I'll see you around. Hopefully, in the next Doom episode, I'm gonna be continuing the challenge run, probably tomorrow night. I'll see you around. Take care.